They were collecting records since I can even remember. When I migrated to Panama, the first thing I got here was like only two suitcases, one with my clothes and the other one I had the records in it that I wanted to really hold
Wow.
close to when I came from Venezuela to Panama. For me, the ones that I brought from Venezuela, there were like 50 of them. Even the Dark Side of the Moon, the original
Okay, yeah.
recording, the first press in Venezuelan edition, and I still have it. I do see it as a very special part of my collection. So in this case, I
Yep.
do not play it, but instead I do play my own remastered record. Those family records are very important, not only because they are probably first presents from that time, but also because they belong to my family, to my uncle, to my mom, to my dad, even my grandparents. So for me, it is amazing to have them and to be able to preserve them for next generation. So, I mean, obviously, when you come to a coming of age and everything with friends and everything, you start to discover music. By my teenage years, I was already discovering music on the internet, like LimeWire artists or downloading music. It was great to actually discover music, but then to actually be able to have it in an analog way, in this case, the vinyl records. The majority of my records are always rock classics and bands that means a lot to me in terms of music and in terms of rock and roll, funk, jazz, because my dad is also a pianist player. I mean, he does plays the piano. So
Right,
there's
cool.
always a lot of involvement in jazz music in my home. Panama, I started collecting several records, and now my collection is up to 2,000 records. My collection for the 45 records began just recently. I mean, I have been
Yeah.
only 45 records for probably 2 or 3 years when the pandemic started. There was some music that I only wanted to have some specific stuff. And I was
Yep.
like, oh, okay, so probably the 45 format is the greatest for that kind of format. I started with rock and roll records because it's the genre that I enjoy the most, and funk and jazz and disco also because I do love it. Now I have been digging a lot into Panamanian music, but more of the Afro-Caribbean Panamanian music, more of the beginning
Nice.
of the Panamanian music in per se.